All right, guys. So, see, this is why I and other people will criticize the Democratic Party more than the Republican Party. Some of the Democratic token heads said that, the Biden administration is working hard towards a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. And all that. But at the end of the day, man, the truth shall set you free. And now since they out, people do this all the time. When the cat's out of the hat, when time passes, then people tell the truth and shit. So yeah, this is huge, man. This came out yesterday. I'm glad I'm just now seeing this so I can cover it, and I got some more videos and tweets to back this up as well. This is from Dropsite News. It says, report: Biden officials admit they never pressured Israel for a ceasefire, as Israeli leaders boast of playing Washington. Um, this says God did the state of Israel a favor that Biden was president during this period. We fought in Gaza over a year, and the administration never came to us and said ceasefire now. It never did, and that's not to be taken for granted. These people are fucking sick. They sick. They're sick. Um, you got AOC coming out saying Biden and working towards a ceasefire. Like, and that woman wants to be president, and she lying like that because she wants to be a career politician. just, just great. Like, this man said, I'm grateful for Biden. Hell, you know what? Vladimir Zelensky could say the same thing too. Him and his neo-Nazi regime over there in Ukraine, like, hey, giving us all this money. Now, Trump, he paused it, which I don't believe, but yeah, Biden never. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it, but it's good to have facts to finally come out. It says it's from a former Israeli ambassador, Michael Herzog. A sweeping Israeli 13-channel investigation has exposed the Biden administration's complicity in Israel's 19-month war in Gaza. The 9 top Biden officials acknowledged avoiding real pressure on Israel even as the death toll surpassed 30,000. Israeli officials openly bragged they dragged out the war, playing for time until Trump's return. The former National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, Ambassador Tom Nides, and others defended their unwavering support of Israel, even as they admitted enabling a campaign one U.S. aide describing as killing and destroying for the sake of killing and destroying. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that, but I'm gonna read a couple of those threads. It's a long thread, but I'm finna um, let me see. Uh, Give me a sec. I gotta find that video right quick. Here we go. I'm finna share my screen. Move this. Now I'm gonna share my screen again. This from Hotspot. Shout out to Hotspot. Um, I'm grateful for these real independent media avenues because make my job so much easier. Here we go. This is the video from Channel 13.
Biden wanted.
Here we go.
ביידן עשה תרגיל מתוחכם. ביום שישי בערב הוא לוקח את ההצעה הישראלית שקיבל ומפרסם אותה כמתווה שלו. המטרה שנתניהו לא יוכל להגיד לא להצעה שלו עצמו.
President Biden wanted to indicate that this was available and critically that Israel was open to doing it.
And to tie Netanyahu maybe to his own deal.
This was not about trying to jam anybody, but it was absolutely about creating a sense that there was a deal to be done and that deal had a certain shape to it.
בחלום האמריקני העסקה מביאה להפסקת אש, הסכם עם סעודיה, סוף המלחמה. The Israelis were furious by the fact that he made it public.
I think they were a little uncomfortable with it, because we didn't give them a heads up and tell them we were going to do this.
כל העסקה שאתם היום מכירים.
Right there. Basically said, hey, we ain't gonna tell them to do shit. hey, it's up to them. They can continue. They can continue their torturing, their killing of innocent Palestinian people. Um, wow, wow. And you see why the Democrats lost. Like, I know a lot of people say the economy, but like, you can't tell me that a lot of these people, particularly younger people in this instance, look on their phones, look on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, and did not see the genocide that was happening. All those Palestinian women and children that no longer on this earth. And this shit is caused by Joe Biden. Like, yeah. We continue.
42 יום שלב א', פעימות שחרור שלב ב', העינוי המתמשך הזה, זה הכל מתווה ישראלי שנועד לאפשר לנתניהו לחזור ללחימה, שהקואליציה לא תתפרק. בשלב ההוא, מאי 24, החמאס עוד לא השיב סופית למתווה. אולי גם כי הוא רואה את ארצות הברית וישראל עולות על מסלול עימות קשה.
אם נצטרך לעמוד לבד, נעמוד לבד. אמרתי כבר שאם צריך נילחם בציפורניים, אבל יש לנו הרבה יותר מאשר ציפורניים.
פצצות הטונה, שהם נשק קריטי לישראל במלחמה הזאת, ובכלל רוב הפגיעה בתת קרקע עשינו באמצעותו. באיזה שלב, משלוח של חימושים מהסוג הזה, 1818 חימושים, בינתיים כבר יש לי דוקטורט בנושא, שהיה כבר, הוא רמס על אונייה, בתהליך המסע על אונייה ועמד לצאת לארץ, מדווחים לי ממערכת הביטחון שהוא נעצר ומתחילים לפרוק את האונייה.
We sort of learned about it when he spoke about it in an interview.
I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been
I wasn't particularly happy about this particular decision, but it was the president.
See, yeah, I remember when Biden said that shit. Yeah, like he didn't mean it. Hey, they went into Rafah and you still gave them weapons, Janet jackass. So, oh my God, man. Let it play a little bit more. A few more minutes.
President's decision.
ביידן רתח על דיווחים שקיבל על שימוש של פצצות הטונה במתחמים אורבניים צפופים בעזה. הפצצות שהביאו לכמות גדולה של אזרחים הרוגים.
There was a lot of frustration with Netanyahu and in particular. It's like, what is he talking about? We've just provided, we backed the supplemental for $17 billion worth of weapons. We've given Israel everything it needs. And like, yes, we have a disagreement over one shipment of 2,000-pound bombs, but like to go out and like attack us that way, I think that was particularly infuriating.
When that kind of mushroomed into the idea of an arms embargo, it completely erased what was going on at the same time.
נדייק, זה לא המשלוח היחיד שעוכב. זה המשלוח היחיד שניתן פומבי לעיכוב שלו. הפומביות פגעה מן הסתם ביכולת שלנו לטעון שארצות הברית מאחורינו.
שר הביטחון יואב גלנט יוצא הלילה לוושינגטון בניסיון לפתור את העיכוב באחד ממשלוחי הנשק לישראל.
So they didn't ship one. They didn't send one. They didn't unload one shipment of bombs to Israel. Then Israel went to the United States to lobby to say, yeah, release these, please. We begging you. Yeah, but again, like AOC said, they sure did fight hard for a ceasefire, right? Oh my God.
Minister Gallant was, I think, prepared to agree to essentially not use that particular munition in populated settings in Gaza. Still a very relevant weapon for Hezbollah. The agreement we were prepared to work out with Minister Gallant would have allowed the release of the ship.
אני מאמין שהם כבר היו בדרך לשחרר את המשלוח הזה, אבל אז ראש הממשלה יצא עם אותו שידור וידאו והכל נעצר.
And in the past few months, the administration has been withholding weapons and ammunition to Israel. Israel, America's closest ally, fighting for its life, fighting against Iran and our other common enemies. Secretary Blinken assured me that the administration is working day and night to remove these bottlenecks. I certainly hope that's the case.
Oh, we know Blinken. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, oh yeah. Anthony Blinken knew that y'all was starving Palestinians and he lied and said that they'll make sure that won't happen. So yeah, I ain't surprised. I believe Anthony Blinken is just up there along you and Ben Gavir and the rest of those thugs. So
There should be.
Did I like having the Israeli prime minister go out and make these kinds of comments? No, of course not. But I ascribe that to the fact that politicians need to do politics sometimes, and that was one of those instances.
To solve a problem that we very much, depending on, wanted to solve.
President Biden was the one to say, I saw the video, it's not going to happen.
It didn't happen.
Wow. So that was that. Now let me get back to this report on from DropSite. Yeah, this is wild. It says, there we go. It says, killing and destroying for the sake of killing and destroying. It says, I'm not going to read all that stuff because it's a long, long thread. It says, Alan Goldberg, a senior national security aide, described the war's aimlessness. If they're never going to do this, it doesn't matter what the outcome is. Hamas is still going to control Gaza. It says you're just killing and destroying for the sake of killing and destroying, but you're not building alternative. So they knew that, they just want to just kill and destroy. So it wasn't by Hamas, even though they've been saying since the beginning, since October 7th, we got to defeat Hamas. Yeah, see how this shit just come out now? See, nobody cares anymore, so, Then right here it says, we fought for over a year and the administration never said ceasefire now. Not surprising. Israeli officials were blunt about the benefits of Biden passivity. Former Ambassador Michael Herzog declared, God did the state of Israel in favor that Biden was the president during this period because it would have been so much worse. I read that. Okay, so we know about that. Then, not surprising here, this is number 3. U.S. covered for Israel war crimes and blocked aid. Okay. It said the State Department advisor Stacey Gilbert resigned after being cut out of the process of drafting a legally required arms compliance report. The final version cleared Israel of violating U.S. law, despite overwhelming evidence of aid obstruction. Gilbert called it shocking in its mendacity, adding, "Everyone knows that is not true. Even as settlers looted Gaza, bound trucks in Israel blocked humanitarian aid, Biden certified compliance and kept weapons flowing." Yeah, the same guy that says, if they go into Rafah, the aid will be paused. But according to this, they stopped giving aid they blocked aid to Gaza, and Biden still gave them whatever the fuck they want. And this is why this woman resigned. Then it says, before it says, Netanyahu sabotaged captive relief talks to prolong the war. Biden officials revealed that Netanyahu deliberately tanked negotiations, fearing a deal would force him to end the war. American-Israeli hostage Hersh Goldberg Polin was scheduled for release the day he was executed. Amos Hochstein confirmed there's no doubt those hostages will still be alive. Netanyahu's public campaign remained control over Gaza. Philadelphia corridor was viewed by Biden officials as a smokescreen to kill the deal. So yeah, they knew all this shit, but they didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. Let me see. Let me think I'm done with that. We watched the Channel 13 thing. Let me see. So right here we got Ilhan Omar. Okay. She said, we all knew they weren't working tirelessly on a ceasefire, and it was all a lie. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, no shit. Duh. Come on, man. Duh. like, you ain't gotta have a high IQ to realize that they just supported Israel um through and through. Like like and, like I just and shout out to Nick um from RBN. He said ALC is so full of shit when even Ilhan Omar is taking shots at her now. Yeah, I'm about to get to AOC in a second. So yeah. Then this guy right here, um, Alice Capidra, he says that makes your complicity in the genocide and their campaign running on it more shameful. He posed for campaign photos with the leaders and committed a genocide against Muslim people and encouraged people to vote for them. You can never be redeemed. Yeah, like she see that, and now since you know her party is not in power, she can now say that oh, the Biden administration was full of shit. Like nobody's buying it, Ilhan Omar. Like you could have made a broader stand than what you did. Like um, I believe you and the ALC are really like y'all folded like lawn chairs. Um, but let's get the ALC lying ass right here.
Tirelessly.
Let's get to her lying ass right here. Um, oh boy, just lied, man. You can tell this woman. This woman full of shit since day one, man. She's full of shit. She'll say anything to gain power. That's what it's all about, power. You know, like she knew this motherfucking shit was a lie. Let me play it.
And she is working tirelessly to secure a ceasefire in Gaza and bringing hostages home.
It was just a complete lie that Kamala Harris is doing anything to push a ceasefire.
Miss AOC, who not...
Wait, I have a question. How can Kamala Harris push for a ceasefire when she said she would not change anything that Joe Biden was doing? So that means they include his stance on Israel by sending them weapons and stuff. And then her husband was an AIPAC handler. So yeah, she's definitely not going to change her stance on that. So oh God, let me continue, man. This is wow.
Too long ago called it a genocide, right? She called it a genocide.
Yeah.
But still supported Joe Biden and said he was the best.
She said Joe Biden is enabling a genocide before posing
badly. Like people had to force her to say genocide. Like she was basically doing what Bernie Sanders was doing, going around the bush with it. Like I just say that.
For a cute photo with him in their Ray-Ban aviator glasses, like a complete fool with other members of the squad going out on.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the photo out with him and that's a power hungry person right there with a sprinkle of progressivism. Like that's who AOC is. Like she don't really believe in what she says, man. I know it now.
On a limb to say, we ride or die for Joe Biden. Someone said, oh, you can't call it the Democratic Party genocide. Yes, I can, because the Democratic Party is in the White House and the Democratic president is the one person who could stop this genocide right now with one phone call to the Pentagon and say, stop the round-the-clock airlift of baby buster bombs. But it's important. Let's take her word for that, because people keep telling us, oh, Kamala Harris, she's just the vice president. She can't do anything. Well, this tells us she's directly involved here. And what AOC...
If Kamala Harris actually cared about women and children getting bummed, my thing is, like, would you be more vocal about it, or step down or something? Say, I'm step down because I don't support this, but she really don't care. I'm just saying, I just had to say that.
She is doing here, it's so disgusting, because she was marketed originally as she's going to bring the ruckus and she's going to hold the feet to the fire. And what she is just an abject sheepdog for the Democratic war machine. Just like the young, hip person of color diversity flavoring on the brutal face of genocide. We don't.
You know, somebody said this too. The Democratic Party does this. The Democratic Party just put a sometimes, because diversity, equity, inclusion, they put a brown face ahead of what the Pentagon or some shit to drop bombs. Still bad, but instead, a brown face doing it on their own people. So, see what I'm saying? This is why this party and the Republican Party ain't no better either. They just, yeah, you know, if you know, you know.
Endless negotiations for a ceasefire that might come sometime halfway through a Kamala Harris administration. We need a ceasefire now. And the way to get that is through an arms embargo on Israel. And that's the one thing that AOC.
Yeah, when Trump played a part in that ceasefire back in January. It really wasn't a fully ceasefire, but one thing that really bothered me about that too was Joe Biden and them going. They came out and spoke of it as well. Like y'all had how many months they had? Y'all had 13 months to fucking come up with a ceasefire, like basically an arms fucking embargo, and you wouldn't do that. But now, since Trump said he wanted a ceasefire, which to me, I think Trump did that just to cosplay as anti-war. Yeah, he just wants to cosplay like Trump gets money from Marian Allison. I'm pretty sure Mary Allison didn't appreciate that. I'm pretty sure she didn't appreciate that. But Trump out is actually letting Israel run rain on the West Bank right now. So yeah,
and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are never going to do. They have perverted the. At the beginning, we were all saying ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. They were refusing to say it, and then they realized, oh well, we can just start saying ceasefire too, and empty the word of any meaning whatsoever. So that's why the demand has to be very clear and specific. A ceasefire will be brought about.
See, it's different from me saying a ceasefire and then them saying it. They actually have flex. They actually have some type of power. See, if I say it, I'm just screaming on fucking Twitter. They say it, they actually can get shit done, but they don't want that. Or they just say it as for token reasons. Like, oh yeah, we need a ceasefire, which actually, they don't give a damn.
By Joe Biden and Kamala Harris stopping the supply of weapons to Israel. And that is nowhere on the Democratic Party agenda. And in fact, Kamala Harris made a point after that rally in Detroit where she was interrupted of saying through her chief foreign policy, her chief national security spokesperson, Kamala Harris opposes any kind of arms embargo in Israel. And no such embargo is in the platform. On the contrary, brags about the weapons that the Democratic Party is sending to Israel. So it's just disgusting what AOC has become, and perhaps this is what she always was. But if there was any...
Exactly, she was always like this, but she found a food which was the left, and she bumped our heads. Basically. Oh boy.
Any element of her, any hair on her head that was willing to challenge the establishment when she first ran and she was first elected, she is a completely domesticated creature of the Israel lobby and the Democratic Party war machine and the billionaires and psychopathic killers they serve.
There you go. Like he said it better than I could. Yeah, LC is part of the. She's complicit. So yeah.
And she is working.
So yeah, the last part I want to play is here. Oh man, Bernard Sanders. Oh God, he's back on the radar again, I guess. But I'm finna play this clip right here. Just listen what he says right here.
Let's talk about what you have called your oligarchy tour. You and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been crisscrossing the country, warning of an emerging oligarchy. Senator, you told the New York Times, I'm going to read this quote, one of the aspects of this tour is to try to rally people to get engaged in the political process and run as independents outside of the Democratic Party. As someone who twice ran in the Democratic presidential primary, are you trying to strengthen the Democratic Party? Or, Senator, are you trying to start a third party?
Now, we're not trying to start a third party. What we're trying to do is strengthen American democracy, where faith in both the Democratic and Republican parties right now is extremely low. We are living, Kristen, in the richest country in the history of...
Oh, God, see. Oh, Lord, the same shit he been saying for the last 10 years. Like, I could have told you that. Like, you don't need my dumb black ass to tell you that. Like, you could figure that out for yourself. Like, we knew what this is about. Bring the energy back into the Democratic Party, man. Say continue the killing of Palestinian people, man. Cause God forbid, man. I really hope this genocide don't continue. And a lot of people stop calling it genocide and they calling it Holocaust, which at this point probably shouldn't be calling it that at first. I mean, to be honest with you. But yeah, this guy, man. Oh God, Bernie is becoming annoying
of the world. And yet you got one person, Mr. Musk, who owns more wealth than the bottom 53% of American households. That is insane. That is oligarchy on steroids. Meanwhile, we have 60% of our workers living paycheck to paycheck.
Hey, I got a question for you. Since you're in the Democratic Party, how much wealth does George Soros own? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not that much. I'm pretty sure it's not far from that. So that's one thing I'm saying about this oligarchy shit. Like, George Soros is the oligarchy, Elon Musk is the oligarchy. Like, they really both the same, but one of them, I guess, like I said, one of them, you know, one of them have an LGBTQ flag, and the other hand, the other one, is more out with his shit. Like, let's cut Social Security. Oh God.
We have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major nation on earth, and we have over 20% of seniors in America living on $15,000 a year or less. What the American people are saying is that they want, and what our tour was about, is to say that they want an economy that works for all of us, not just for Mr. Musk and other billionaires. Now, my concern right now is you have Democrats appropriately, and I'm working with them, talking about Trump's movement toward authoritarianism, vigorously opposing the so-called reconciliation bill to give over $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1% and make massive cuts to Medicaid, nutrition, and housing, opposing what Musk is doing to dismember the Social Security Administration and the Veterans Administration, making it hard for our veterans to get decent health care or benefits on time. We're on the same page. But what Democrats lack right now is a vision for the future. How are we going to provide a decent standard of living for a younger generation, which, everything being equal, will be poorer than their parents? How do we repair a broken healthcare system? How do we raise the minimum wage to a living wage? How do we deal with a corrupt campaign finances?
So yeah, man. The same shit. Like, this shit is going to happen to the Democratic Party. Bernie thinks the people are stupid. Like, Bernie knows that this shit ain't going to happen to the Democratic Party. Like, dude, why you keep... Oh, God, never mind. But, yeah, man, like my thing is, if you care about the Palestinian people, AOC and Bernie, instead of you still trying to run through the Democratic Party, how about you form your own third party? But AOC lied about saying they're working tirelessly for a ceasefire, which tells me that they don't care. Like, AOC's complicit in genocide too. You know, wow, because she says the word genocide don't mean shit. What really, like, what really boggles my mind about a lot of people online, mainly that support AOC and Bernie, is that, like, that's why I played that young lady on TikTok earlier. I'm trying to say, like, she sees it like Trump is making a ceasefire worse, which in fact but you got the Biden administration that never even talked about Israel getting a ceasefire. So what are you talking about? Like, oh God. But yeah, man. Um, like, yeah, I'm glad this stuff coming out now. So, you know, I don't think it'll be impactful, but hopefully a lot of people see this and say, I never vote for Democrats again.